Test, test.
Test, test.
All right, we are back live from Prairie View Cricket Complex. There's only 6 overs left in this innings. It's almost a lost cause. They require 20 runs per over now. 7 overs have only gone for 47 runs. Sudesh is on strike facing Waqas Salim. And that's a big hit from Sudesh. He gets under that one, and that sails over the mid-wicket fence for 6 runs. What a shot. They need more of these, but is it too little too late now?
I believe he was waiting for us to come on air, I guess, Munir. And we was just wondering when he's going to pull the plug, and he has finally done that, and with a big one.
My correction, that's Obus Pinar with that big hit. For a second, he deceived me because I've known Sudesh for a very long time. We haven't seen sixes of that magnitude. Sudesh is a very handy T20 cricketer, but he's somebody who likes to build an innings, and he swings another one and doesn't manage to go anywhere as he couldn't clear the mid-off fielder and loses his wicket.
He lost his shape there, and the outside edge, or the top edge rather, went straight to short third man. And Raiders loses another wicket. They're now 53 for 3. It's almost, I would say, game, set and match for Stallions, I guess. So it's going to be really tough from here, Munir.
Yeah, it's almost a foregone conclusion. I think for Raiders at this point, it's more about the net run rate and minimizing the losses or the damage from this game. Anything you can do to get as close to that mammoth score of 165, I think in the bigger scheme of things, come tomorrow evening when the group stages wrap up, it's going to be substantial. Right now, there's a deficit of 112 runs in a 13-over context. That's almost 9. A negative net run rate of 9. That could be substantial.
Yeah, unless they go the route of Stallions in the last 3 overs where they scored like 60 or 70 runs, the net run rate is going to be a big one if they continue at this rate. So they need some big runs. And I believe Rayan Bagani is come out to bat, or that's Usman Rafiq. I'm sorry. And he plays a nice square cut to start things off. Subham Ranjane feels it at deep point, or comes in from deep cover and throws it on the bounce for a single. Everybody is bundled up, as you can see, because of this very cold conditions. Some it's to Night Riders or Stallions, but if you want to cover stars,
I think stars and HCL because it tends so that we can do more teams. Stars or HCL is good.
so and then stars.
So, Ehsan Adil, he's been pretty amazing so far. 18 runs, 2 wickets taken in the second over. The required rate has crept up over 20 runs an over. And Like we had been saying all along, Usman Rafiq and Sudesh Patare, the next ball from Essen. Nice line and length, just pulling it back of length. It's very hard for the batsman to get under these kind of balls. They need big hits right now. Every over, they need at least 4 to 5 boundaries. And like we were saying, I think it may not be even about this chase anymore. It's just about minimizing the damages incurred during this game. So like we were saying, we have Usman Rafiq and Sudesh Patare in the middle. These two are known for their crosstown rivalry in the minor league. Houston has two current franchises as part of the minor league, which is Houston Hurricanes and Lone Star Athletics, formerly the Austin Athletics, and these two are captains for those teams respectively. They've now come under this Raiders setup. The last over did go for 15 runs with a couple of big sixes, but that's not enough. They need almost 21 runs an over. So that's quite an ask. Even for the likes of these two big names from the Houston cricket circle. Abhimanyu, he's coming on to bowl. This is going to be his first over. By the look of it, he looks like he's a leg spinner, which he is. Beautifully bowled, and the first delivery itself, a leading edge. And he just couldn't get to the ball in time and hold on to that catch. So they get through for just a single. Impressive delivery from Abhimanyu first up. Beautiful wrists. Really gave it a big twerk. And the batsman on that occasion, Usman Rafiq, was completely beaten by the turn and the flight of that delivery. Was early into the shot, only managing a top leading edge. Luckily for him, it fell in no man's land. Abhimanyu is going to continue. Sudesh is on strike. 4 runs of 4 deliveries for him. Sudesh gets under that one. Abhimanyu misses his bearings, gives him a full toss, and the fact that it only goes for a single doesn't help the cause of the Raiders. 103 required of 29 deliveries. Usman, he's beaten, all ends up. The leg spinner is causing him some trouble. He's been beaten a couple of times in the air and off the pitch. Four runs straight down the ground. That's a beautiful shot. So Usman makes up for the last couple of deliveries he got beaten on. It's been a good over by Abhimanyu. Just 8 runs conceded. That's too little, too less for the cause of Raiders Unlimited. Abbreviated to RUN, as you can see on the scorecard. It doesn't translate into RUNS as of yet. 10th over of this innings is going to commence now. Still needing 96 runs at 24 a notch with 4 overs to go. That's a big ask. We've seen Usman Rafiq in the previous minor league season used to bat in this kind of a position, come at number 5-6 and really provide the finishing touches in the innings. So he's definitely capable, and he's somebody who packs a punch. And so is Sudesh. Sudesh, if we all recall, and Roshan, you've spent a lot of time playing alongside Sudesh at the Triggers Cricket Club. He used to open the batting in his youth days, and even as a player in the Houston Cricket League. Over time, with the inception of T20 cricket, he's transitioned into a role of a finisher.
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to, because the game has moved on to a more, I would say, dynamic, and he, as a batsman, have become more dynamic since the first time I saw him. He has played some big knocks in HCL, and he has done really well, and he has improved quite a bit. He has put in a lot of time, in his cricket in the last few years. Off the pads, and they take the second one. That's good running and good game awareness from Sudesh, I guess.
Jaskaran Singh Buttar is the bowler. We spoke about him and we said that he is a first-class player. And so far, in his very first over, he hasn't shown anything less. First delivery right up there in the block hole. Second one, nice, good length delivery. Just getting to see the depth of the Stallion squad. We saw 4 or 5 of their players, and we said some of their main batsmen didn't even get a chance to come out in the middle. This one again is smacked by Usman, and it goes to long on for just a single. Now we've seen the bowling. They opened with Shehan Jayasuriya, but they're showing their bowling depth as well. Jaskaran Singh looks like a really good bowler, and he's coming on to bowl his first over in the 10th over of the innings.
Yep. It's, they seem to have a lot of option. Oh, and that is a very dangerous delivery. That was almost shoulder height, and I think it has pinged Sudesh on his fingers, and he seems to be in a lot of pain.
That's unfortunate for Sudesh.
Yeah. I hope he is unhurt, but he seems to be in a lot of pain, I guess.
It didn't look like it was a really express delivery, and even Jaskaran doesn't come across as somebody who's really quick. But the fact that Sudesh was improvising, it kind of put him in an uncomfortable position as he came up against that really full toss that was above the waist, obviously, and the umpire signaled a free hit. But it still was a dangerous delivery. Sudesh tried to capitalize and put it behind fine leg for 4 runs, completely missed it.
Yep, and it surely hit him somewhere. He seems to be okay. It's good signs. He is putting his gloves on. As long as somebody does not come in, it's always good signs. That was a brute of a delivery. That could have gone on to hit him anywhere, and it could have gone anywhere for runs also, but I believe there was no extra runs apart from the no ball, and here comes the free hit. Let's see if Sudesh can capitalize on this one and go big on this. And here comes Just Current for the free hit delivery. And he lofts it well, and let's wait for the signal. I believe it looked like a 6, but let's just wait for umpire Owen Brown's. And he signals a 6. That's a big one. And Sudesh has capitalized on that free hit after being hit on his knuckles, finger somewhere, and he has hit that for a 6. What a comeback.
Yeah, a lot of heart from Sudesh. Gets back up, brushes off the injury, and what a reply the next delivery. Jaskaran again.
And he drives it straight down for another 4. So I believe that knock has woken up Sudesh. Munir?
Yeah, it's been quite chilly all this morning, and that blow, I think, really sparked a lot of heat inside Sudesh, and he's emitting all of that now onto the bowler with a 6 and a 4. What a comeback.
Yeah, talking about the depth, I believe, Nitish can bowl. He hasn't done anything. Nitish Kumar, who is a quality player, he hasn't touched the bat, he hasn't touched the bowl, and it seems like they have a different gear altogether ready.
That's really the kind of depth the Stallions have. We've been talking about it, how good the squad looks on paper, and they're showing the same strength on the field as well. As Sudesh tries to loft this, doesn't get any range. The ball literally dies down as long off approaches in and keeps it down to just a single.
So now they're showing some intent, real intent, finally. We were hoping that they would show this a little bit earlier, but they realized that there's no point just hanging around. The score is too big to be hanging around. So they're at 86 for 4.
Overs gone. 86 for 4 is in itself a respectable, semi-respectable score. But if you put that in context with 165, which they are chasing, it becomes a sorry story for the Raiders.
Yeah, unless they do what the Stallions did in their first innings and go berserk on the last few overs, they are not going to come anywhere near the target that they have in front of them. And he is stumped. Sudesh is stumped. He came down the track to Abhimanyu, who saw him coming and pulled the length back a little bit. And it was a very straightforward stumping for the wicketkeeper.
Gallant effort from Sudesh, scoring 18 of 11 deliveries. But again, like we've been saying, if you put that in context with the kind of finish Shubham, Ranjane, Shayan, Jayasurya provided to the Stallions X, this is too little, too late. But 17 deliveries left in this innings. I wonder if they can somehow bring that deficit under 50 or 40 runs. It's still going to damage the net run rate quite a bit, and Raiders would definitely need to win their next 2 games to stay alive in the competition. $86 for 5, and the new batsman is Calvin Savage. He was good with the ball. His first over was really good, got taken apart in the next 2. Now he has an opportunity to impress with the bat. Abhimanyu who bowled very miserly leg spin, and his first over comes back, and again it's that wrist spin, and beautifully reverse swept, took it on the full, but doesn't get much purchase out of it as it goes straight to the short third man fielder, dot ball.
That's an audacious shot to start off with. I mean, for someone like me who grew up in a different era, that's a again he goes for a reverse sweep, this time straight to point for no runs. But it is amazing to see these shots being played just as you come in. I mean, it's incredible. Now he plays the
This time he goes the straight bat
yeah.
and gets a run. That required run rate, it's a lost cause. We all know that. But we've been keeping an eye on it. It's. I think when we picked up this broadcast, it was around 19 or 20. Now it's crept up to 33 as Usman tries to heave this. Doesn't get much out of it. It looks like it's a totally different game happening when you compare with the first innings and the kind of batting which the likes of Shubham Ranjane, Shayan Jayasurya, Ehsan Shah, some of those players did for the Stallions. Raiders just haven't been able to get going. It's been a mystery. And wow, that's brilliantly fielded right in front of the commentary box. Shubham again, that was going for a boundary. He covers a lot of ground, almost 20 meters in the span of a couple of seconds, and keeps it down to just a single.
And he made it look simple. I mean, see, one of the things that Sanjay Surya in his innings did was, even though he was a little bit scratchy in the beginning, he hung around and found his bearings, and he took off in the last 3 overs, right? So, but Usman is trying to play that role for the Raiders, and let's see whether he can continue and get some big ones and get this score closer to that huge Stallions total.
You see that logo of turmeric, Indian cuisine, and bar that just showed up on the top of your screens. The sponsors for this edition of the Houston Premier League. And in this cold weather, it's a blessing that they delivered a pot full of hot tea, milk tea or chai as we call it, and some hot lunches have just arrived. So one of the blessings in this cold weather is that we've got a sponsor in the form of Turmeric who cares about us so much that they drive from across town with fresh meals and beverages for all of us. So sincere thanks to all the guys at Turmeric, Sid, Jeevan and company. Coming back to this game, Jaskaran Singh, he was bowling a really good over first up. Then came that beamer, and then last 2 deliveries were dispatched by Sudesh. Again, another full toss, but he completely misses it. It gets stuck in his roll of the pad. A big appeal from Jaskaran, but the umpire, Owen Brown, was just not interested. So just ends in a dot ball in the process. Like I'd been saying, I'm just enjoying statistics. And the way that run rate has crept up, now it's at 46.2. It's like a stock exchange right now. But it's not falling. It's been going up one way.
Top edge, keeper goes for it, and he takes the catch. A good catch by the keeper. And Calvin Savage is gone. Dug in short by Jaskaran Singh, and Calvin Savage went for the hook. Gets the top edge, and he is taken by the keeper. So Raiders has completely lost the plot here and has lost 6 wickets. So the best that Raiders can do at this point is to improve their net run rate with some lusty hits. And the new batsman is
Ari Kannata.
Arya Kannata.
Roshan, what do you know about Arya? We know he's a youngster from Houston. Tell us a little more about him.
He's one of the most promising players in the Houston youth circle. Good batsman. He's more of a wicket-keeper batsman, but he can hold his own in the field. I mean, I try to look at all these youngsters from a fielding perspective first, and he's one of the better outfielders, even though his main, role in the field is a wicket-keeper, but even on the field, he can hold his own. Lofted, and I believe that's a big one. That's a big one by Usman Rafiq. And as I said, these runs are going to help Raiders maintain a good net run rate. They don't want to lose this match by a huge margin. It's going to be a good margin, but the less they can keep the distance between what they score and what the target is, the better it's going to be for them. Here comes Jaskaran to Usman, and he sweeps it down the leg side. The keeper misses it. They were thinking about the two, but they decided against it. I think that's off the bat.
And coming to the topic of Usman, what I like about him is he has a very classic approach to power hitting. Loves to clear that front foot, make room for the ball so that wherever it's pitched, he has already cleared the front foot and he can access that delivery. And then on top of it, he has a beautiful bat swing, a full free-flowing bat. So that's one of the main reasons why he has lately been so effective in even the minor league. And he's played a good innings here given the conditions, the situation under which he walked out. And no matter which team he plays in, whether it's the minor league, whether it's the HPL, or it's any other tournament where he's traveling and playing, he remains to be a crucial nog in the roster or team he's playing for. And one of the main reasons for that happens to be his finishing batting. And then he's primarily amongst the best spinners in any lineup. He brings a lot of variety. He bowls a very good dusra, a traditional off-spinner. Speaking of off-spinners, now we see a slip and a gully in the penultimate over. In fact, the last over of the innings. It's the last over of the innings. 69 runs are required in this over. It's in fact the penultimate over. It's over number 13. Waqas is the one bowling it.
And he swings it away towards square leg. The fielder does really well to keep it to 2. And coming back to Usman, I mean, he is one of the nicest bloke to come across off the field also. And as a team player, he's one of the best team player, Whichever team he comes in to play, here comes the bowler. He comes in with the attitude of a very, good team player. Always thinks about the team. Doesn't matter which team he plays for. So, a really good player.
Yeah, and especially given that he's been playing a lot of cricket locally in this league, in the Houston Cricket League for the last several seasons, to keep up that level of fitness, that level of performance and train, eat right, and be ready for a national call up or go and play tournaments like the minor league or Houston Premier League and so many other tournaments, and to consistently keep doing it for the last 10 odd years at this level, that just speaks volumes of the person he is, the athlete he is, the work ethic he possesses. Usman Rafiq, that is. Arya, meanwhile, is on strike, and he tries the reverse lap, and it just beats the fielder at slip. He tried to block it with his left foot, fails, and the ball goes for 4 runs. So this should give the youngster Arya a lot of confidence. Keep in mind, he was one of the pre-drafted players by Raiders in the Houston Premier League. HPL does a local player draft, which was expanded to include all players who are resident of Texas. And within that draft, each team is allowed to pre-draft or lock 3 players. Those players are pulled out of the draft pool as Arya tries another reverse sweep. Nothing comes out of it. So Arya happened to be one of the pre-drafted players by the Raiders. So one amongst the 24 top players in Texas, if you go by that logic. And that, in fact, wraps up the innings. The game ends with Raiders getting to 106. It's been a very slow crawl for them. They lose by 59 runs. We did suggest that it may help their cause if they get the deficit down to under 50. 59 is the margin. Roshan, your thoughts on the first game?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the first match, I mean, it was a straightforward win for the Stallions X. I mean, nothing much going right for the Raiders after that onslaught by Sehan Jayasuriya and Subham Ranjane. And then while chasing, they kind of lost their plot. I mean, they kept losing wickets regularly, and they fell way short of the target. In a 13 over, that's a big margin to lose by. So Stallions X seems to be shaping up well as far as this match is concerned, and they have a huge net run rate on their side.
So, right at the wrap up of the first game of the Turmeric Houston Premier League 2023, the news from Prairie View Cricket Complex is the Stallions X have won their first game against Raiders by a mammoth 59 run margin in what was a reduced game because of wet outfield in the morning. And it was a 13 over game, and Stallions win that by 59 runs. That's a mammoth total, and a massive boost to their net run rate. Now, in just about 20 minutes from now, we are going to be back live with the next game that we are going to be broadcasting. And that's going to be the Houston Stars against the HCL Knights. The likes of Unmuk Chand, Nosh Kenjige, Gaurav Bajaj, some really good players from the region would be featured in that game. So we are, in fact, going to be live very soon with the next game of the day.